the deadliest conflict in human history. During World War II, from 1939 to 1945, over 70 million lives were lost through mass genocide and warfare. But this time, the international call for justice was heard. London, 1943. As the atrocities of the war raged on, 17 countries formed a War Crimes Commission with the goal of investigating and assisting national governments with the trials of war criminals from Europe and the Far East. Its enduring achievement? Developing the legal concept of crimes against humanity. A draft resolution presented while the Commission was still active was later adopted as the Genocide Convention of December 9, 1948.
Now we are protecting the most fundamental right of all, the very right of human groups to exist as groups.
Approximately 400,000 pages of material were handed over to the fledgling United Nations when the Commission disbanded, with no clear guideline given. In the decades that followed, UN member states could not reach agreement on opening the archive. Much of it remained locked away for the next 70 years. At an event organized at the United Nations headquarters to discuss the release of these historical records, UN Special Advisor on the Prevention of Genocide, Adama Dieng, noted.
It took too long to release these documents. I think it would have been extremely helpful if these records were released not in July 2014, but at least in the early 90s. I say so because I come from the Arusha Tribunal.
The Arusha Tribunal was set up to try cases related to the Rwanda genocide in 1994, a killing campaign that saw the massacre of the Tutsi ethnic group by the majority Hutus. Major General Romeo Dallaire was fourth commander of the UN peacekeeping mission in Rwanda.
Well, we're a peacekeeping force that is in the middle of a war, and that war has been going on not unabated for now over a month, and has caused at least, from the estimates, 150 to 200,000 deaths and close to 2 million displaced people in this country.
Some 800,000 Rwandans were killed in just 100 days. The pervasive use of rape during the conflict led to its legal recognition as an instrument of genocide. But the UN War Crimes Commission had been the first multinational criminal law organization to punish rape as a serious crime.
Many of the issues, like rape, which was considered as a war crime already at that time, rape was considered as crime against humanity, but already the Commission considered it as a war crime. This could have certainly been extremely helpful.
The files include harrowing accounts of crimes against Jews by German forces and their collaborators. A full copy of the Commission records was obtained by the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum in Washington, D.C., and it is anticipated that many more countries will follow suit in allowing unprecedented access. Bridget Sisk is chief of the UN Archives and Records Management section.
We're very pleased because it means that the archives can be readily available according to the access policies of the United States federal government. The Holocaust Museum has also indicated an interest in more of our archives. So again, extremely pleased about that. "70 years after World War II. 70 years after the birth of the United Nations. These records can at last shine a light on the horrors of war. This report was produced by Grace Barrett for the United Nations.